As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its centers of excellence, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, in association with African Asian Rural Development Organization, ARDO, New Delhi, organize this weekly international webinar series on open source digital technologies towards a self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Today is 13th November 2021. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, His Excellency, the Secretary General ARDO, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the universities, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agri-Business and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome our guest speaker of today's webinar, Mr. K.E. Raghunathan. Today's topic is Beyond COVID-19, Revitalizing Micro and Small Enterprises. Will be delivered by Mr. K. Raghunathan. He is a social entrepreneur and founder, D for Education Network India, D for Enterprises Network India Private Limited, Chennai. I wish to inform the participants and the guest speaker that under this international webinar series, these two centers of excellence, CIDSA and CITSA, have organized 51 lectures so far on very important topics. Open technologies to provision simple and economical IT infrastructure. A roadmap for students using free and open source software and reaching goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Open source software and industrial IoTs for SMEs. Free and open source software adoption and business models. Open data platform for smart digital government. Technology imperatives, make in India for self-reliance. Edge artificial intelligence. Data governance for self-reliant India. Digital India transforming governance and society. India's email service citizen@indiamail.com in 22 constitutionally recognized language. Ecosystem architecture for digital transformation. Education system cyber critical infrastructure. Seizing opportunities in open innovation and value creation network in the digital world for self-reliant economy. Ensuring food safety and compliance through technology. Digital India, urgent need for semiconductor manufacturing in India. Technology investment in agriculture value chain, role of foreign direct investments. Entrepreneurship and skill development, AI design pathways. The rise of platform economy, revisiting value chain governance. The era of automation, industrial robotics, and Industry 4.0 Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis and opportunities. Role of artificial intelligence in healthcare, current developments in diagnosis and vaccine research. Digital agri-tech and agri-startup perspective. Health informatics network value chain, e-health system and beyond. Leveraging emerging technologies for ensuring transparent and traceable agri and food supply chain. Unleash the power of citizen development for enterprise software development. E-governance models towards sustained quality services to citizens backed up by technology. Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities, urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. Building public digital platform using microservices and APIs. Health informatics network value chain, early childhood development and learning. Health informatics network value chain, a healthcare startup perspective. Health informatics network value chain, clinical AI, interface between machine learning and health informatics. Health informatics network validated importance of social medicine and community health in the times of health emergency. Gravity filter, a simple low-cost solution to the drinking water treatment in rural India. Open source GovTech startups empowering growth and automation. Digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India. Challenges and opportunities. National Digital Twin Program. Need for a robust geospatial infrastructure. Industry 4.0 in MSMEs. Benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD software from National Informatics Center. Mass serialization and anti-counterfeiting solutions to fight illicit trade. Cybersecurity, risk, challenges and solutions. Intelligence approach to reduce cyber risk. New Internet IPv6 root server toward Atmanirbhar Connected Bharat. Indian startups reflections and possible policy interventions for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. Blockchain and crypto for digital assets platform, pathways for global trade. Robot as a service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. Space startups, connecting to international markets with emerging business models. Enabling technologies for future vision. Vivekananda Secondary Education and Skills Development Mega Project. Its potential impact on rural entrepreneurship and the rural economy in India. SportsGrade, a digital sports media platform and prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at a global level. Pharma 4.0, Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing, pathway to a digital transformation. Accelerate and scale non-linear growth through partner ecosystem. Technological renaissance and human capital, a perspective. Health informatics network value chain, medical outreach, challenges and potential. Today is the 52nd edition of this very important webinar series, which will be delivered by Shri K.E. Raghunathan, social entrepreneur. The topic is Beyond COVID-19, Revitalizing Micro and Enterprises. Dear participants, you note the keywords of the title of the topic, COVID-19, Beyond COVID-19, Revitalization and Micro and Small Enterprises. Under this webinar series, the university has sponsored about 11 webinars on the need of digital transformation of MSMEs. Let me list it out, these 11. On 25th September 2020, a talk on open source and industrial IoTs for SMEs by Dr. H.K. Suhas, former Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center. On 16th January 2021, a talk on era of automation, industrial robotics and industry 4.0, Indo-German perspective of technology transfer, skill gap analysis and opportunities by Mr. Bangabandhu Venkata Raju, and President for India Affairs, European Center for Mechatronics, Germany, founder Indo-Euro Synchronization and member of NOS Committee, Industrial Robotics, Electronics Skill Commission of India. On 6th March 2021, a talk on Indian MSMEs to adopt Industry 4.0 technology capabilities, urgent need for mentorship and accelerator program. On the basis of this talk, we have worked out an MBA in Industry 4.0 program to train CEOs of SMEs of this country. On 12th June 2021, a talk on open source GovTech startups, empowering growth with automation. On 19th June 2021, a talk on digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities by Mr. R.K. Jayabalan from Madurai. And 3rd July 2021, Industry 4.0 in MSMEs, benefits of indigenously developed CollabCAD. On 7th August, a talk on Indian startups, reflections and possible policy intervention needed for scaling up to Gram Panchayat. On 21st August 2021, a talk by Robot as a Service, leverage technology to solve enterprise challenges. On 4th September 2021, space startups, connecting international markets and with emerging business models. And 2nd October, Sports Grail, a digital sports media platform on prospects of Indian sports industry sustainability model at grassroots at global level. And 9th October, Pharma 4.0 Industry 4.0 applications to pharmaceutical manufacturing. Atmanirbhar Bharat, a road ahead. This is the vision of the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation based on 5 pillars. Quantum jump in economy, infrastructure, one that represents modern India, system 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, and demand whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. Vocal for local to make it for global, is another slogan. The reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, and futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment, and robust supply chains. This is our intent. The Digital India program aims to transform India into a knowledge-based economy and a digitally empowered society. Digital world, the rise of platform economy, and digital platform economy is emerging. Digital ecosystems are essential for digital transformation in the digital world, at least in every urban cluster of SMEs and rural clusters of SMEs. The evolving digital economy is closely, associated with the several, emerging frontier technology, fueled by data, blockchain, data analytics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, Internet of Things, automation and robotics, and cloud computing. Let me quote what United Nations agencies for, talk about the relevant technology. Frontier technologies and digital ecosystems in the planet, cloud computing, mobile phones, IoT platforms, social media, GPS, advanced human-computer interaction, authentications and intervention, intrusion detection, 3D printing, smart sensors, augmented reality, analysis of big data and advanced algorithm, user data collection, satellite drones, and sensors. There are 10 emerging technologies making an impact in 2020, according to an article published on June 10, 2020. The top 10 emerging technologies are AI, artificial intelligence, 5G, IoT, serverless computing, biometrics, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, robotics, natural language processing, quantum computing. Digital transformation is building public digital platforms using microservices and APIs. Industry 4.0, the smart factory or factory of future, Internet of Things, and Industry 4.0. These are all the buzzwords that populate a new manufacturing world triggered by digitalization. For our own understanding, smart technology includes cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, Internet of Things, cloud computing, cognitive computing, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, additive manufacturing, simulations, and system integration. Success comes from as to how we understand Industry 4.0 design principles. These have been categorized into as below, and each category itself is a complete value system when we talk about micro and small enterprises. Interconnection, information transparency, robotic type technical assistance, freeing from doing unsafe and risky jobs, decentralized decisions. I wish to quote the Cisco report, which is published on 27th January 2021 in this regard. Small businesses are the bedrock of India's economy. Small businesses are the bedrock of India's economy. The digitalization of small business could contribute $216 billion to the country's GDP. Our goal is to enable MSMEs in India to accelerate their digital transformation and pave the way to a $5 trillion economy. I also would like to quote Cushman and Wakefield 2021 Global Manufacturing Risk Index which was published in Business Today, 25th August 2021, which says India could benefit from relocations from China to other parts of Asia. India could benefit from relocations from other parts of Asia because as it already has an established base in pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and engineering, sectors that continue to be the focus of US-China trade tension. Pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and engineering. It is, however, stated that reforms in land and labor laws are critical to ensure India's success as a global manufacturing hub. Digital transformation step towards vocal for local for making it global. The micro, small, and medium enterprises are considered as the backbone of our Indian economy. With over 63 million business units, about 3,500 urban clusters, and about 18,000 rural clusters, the sector contributes to 29% of India's GDP, 40% of exports, and employs over 110 million people. Well-functioning SME ecosystem enables a nation to enhance productivity and output across the sectors, as well as accelerate the pace of exports. It enables the development of business landscape across Tier 2, Tier 3 cities and beyond. Digitalization of these micro and small business enterprises need of a framework. It is in early stages of digitalization journey, using new IT technologies in manufacturing to merge the virtual and the real worlds. SMEs in many developed countries have progressed considerably in adoption of smart technologies towards Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0, using successful manufacturing approaches like inclusion of partners in supply chains, simple and effective ERP-centric approach, open innovations, adoption of agile methodology, innovation labs for demonstration, multiple stakeholder approach, skill and talent development, funding of digital transformation. European Union has undertaken steps to make SME leaders as artificial intelligence enabled e-leaders. I hosted a talk on 19th June 2021, the talk of Mr. R.K. Jayabalan on the topic digital transformation in small enterprises and small businesses of India, challenges and opportunities. The way forward which emerged from this talk is as follows. Use digitization and digitalization as effective means to foster the growth of SMEs. Undertake inventory of modern industrial applications of country's resource base. You undertake inventory of modern industrial applications of country's resource base at ISIC and STIC 5-digit level, production data and trade data level. Document process, design, and market of products at a disaggregated level. Identify very viable avenues by reducing the distance to the frontiers of best practices in process, design, and market at a disaggregated level. Enhance adaptive capabilities to use modern technology to commercialize a new knowledge. Utilize government instruments such as policy intervention, rendering technical assistance, business support services desk. Such instruments tantamount to babysitting business enterprises. Establish institutional mechanism to information dissemination at village and district level. Promote cluster approach for business to collaborate to compete. Use digital methods for effective knowledge dissemination to correct coordination failures occurring in the cluster networking. CEOs of SMEs to become AI-enabled leaders to undertake digital transformation through Industry 4.0 technologies. MBA in Industry 4.0 course is the need of the hour. As of now, many Indian manufacturers are still stuck up in Industry 2.5 with their paper-based process and heavy human dependency. The COVID-19 pandemic has redefined businesses in India, putting the focus on online practices, and its recovery will be digital. According to Anushruti Singh in the article published on August 30, 2020, in smefutures.com. In the next new normal, the recovery will be digital. MSMEs, particularly the micro and small businesses, face a funding gap as they generally have a harder time obtaining credit from former financial institutions, according to Sobit Mathur and Amar Shankar in the article published on 26 July 2021 in Economic Times. MSME, particularly the micro and small businesses, face a funding gap as they generally have a harder time obtaining credit from former financial solutions. With this background, let us now turn to the address by our guest speaker, K. Raghunathan, social entrepreneur and founder, D4E Network India Private Limited, Chennai, Convenor, Consortium of Indian Association, Chennai, member Board of Trustee, Employees Provident Fund Organization, member National All India Council of Technical Education Internship Committee, member Tamil Nadu Energy Regulator, TNERC Advisory Committee, Chennai, and former National President, All India Management Organization, on the topic Beyond COVID-19, Revitalizing Micro and Small Enterprises. This topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching our telecast through facebook.com, Sobit University India, or youtube.com, Sobit University in, or linkedin.com/company/Sobit-University for motivating them to harness the power of transformers, technology, and capital to digitally transform micro and small enterprises of the country. Let me introduce our guest speaker to the participants of the webinar. Profile of Mr. K. Raghunathan. Mr. K. Raghunathan, popularly known as Msme Raghu, is a multifaceted personality and has a lot of accomplishment to his credit. After his engineering, he started as a first-generation entrepreneur and has over 35 years of experience in running an MSME unit in solar energy space as a pioneer. Mr. Raghunathan is also known for his contribution to society as immediate past president of All India Manufacturers Association, where he was the voice of several industries across India during demonetization and GST introduction time, and contributed significantly for their well-being and prosperity. Currently, Mr. Raghunathan is a convener of Consortium of Indian Associations, CIA, by uniting over 60 MSME associations into a unified voice. He is also serving as a member of Central Board of Trustee, Employees Provident Fund Organization, and in the National Committee of All India Council of Technical Education in framing internships policies. Mr. Raghunathan has won many awards and recognition and is known for his passionate speeches from the heart and for the progress of both employees and employees. He can be contacted at 9840947485 and his email is caaofficial.msme@gmail.com. Mr. Raghunathan, we welcome you to the international webinar series in open source digital technologies and self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, on the topic Beyond COVID-19, Revitalizing Micro and Small Enterprises. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Moni. I got engrossed in your speech. Some of the points which I was storing in my memory got erased. This is exactly the situation every entrepreneur across the globe and specifically in India has been made to go through thanks to the COVID situation. We need to reset ourselves. We need to reinvent ourselves. We need to move away from conventional business models, conventional methodology of doing business, conventional methodology of creating a product, designing a product, application and the usefulness of the product. What happens if we don't change? If we don't change, we will perish. How many of you remember? Not very long ago, I'll explain to you some of the brands which we all know about. 1998, the Kodak Photo Film Institute or the industry was started, and they had 170,000 people working with them. Today, we don't have that organization existing because we don't any longer need a printout of a photo. We don't any longer need a camera for specifically to take shots. We don't need that much of a professional expertise. Everything is auto-focused, auto-created. You can add, delete, you can create your own backgrounds, you can create your own coloring, enhancements. Everything has come at the touch of the fingers. I can go on and on with such technology displacements, electronic typewriter, pagers, desktop systems, radio, tape recorder, VCR, Walkman, DVD players, all have been getting displaced. In the electricity arena, tube lights are gone. The tungsten lamps are gone. We are now into the LEDs, and the CFL has also got displaced. If earlier, if we take 20 years as a cycle time of a technology, today, the cycle time of the technology is 2 to 5 years. If we don't change, we will perish. That is the problem today. Dr. Moni perfectly set the tone for our discussion today. I know him for a long time, and he is so passionate in what he does and so perfectionist in whatever he does. He is a tickler for the timing. He directs the stage setting, the content setting, what should be the takeaways from every minute, what is somebody's time is used. As we have, the topic of today is the revitalizing the micro and small enterprises. The word MSME defines micro, small, and medium enterprises. Today, we are not going to touch upon the medium enterprises. Let me explain to you why, and let me take it from there. First of all, what is MSME or who is MSME? Till last year, which is during the COVID time, the MSMEs were classified under 2 categories. One is called manufacturing, other one is called service enterprises. Service can be even an IT company, service provider, it can be a trader also. They were falling under that category. And their basket bin size was decided based on the investment in the plant and machinery. For example, if a company or a service provider invests in an equipment less than 25 lakhs or 10 lakhs, they would become micro enterprise. If it is less than 5 crores or 2 crores, it will be small scale industry. If it is less than 10 crores or 5 crores, it will become medium scale industry. This classification became redundant. So we needed to change. And during the pandemic time, the government of India, rightly so, introduced the revised MSME classification. Today, whether you are a manufacturer, whether you are a service provider, whether you are a trader, you are all called under only one classification, that is manufacturing and services. Your differentiation as micro, small, medium is determined based on two inputs. One is on investment in plant and machinery, and second is on turnover, what you do. For example, the micro enterprises today have investments up to 1 crore and turnover up to 5 crore. Earlier, it was only investment 25 lakh. Now it has been enhanced up to 1 crore and the turnover of 5 crores up to. So majority of the enterprises today have fallen under the micro category. The small industries, the investments are up to 10 crores, which is what was the last pre-classified times the medium scale industry, and the turnover up to 50 crores. Finally, the medium scale industry, the turnover is up to 250 crore and the investment is up to 50 crore. So the medium is actually was the large industries earlier than 1 year. So the last year's small has become micro, the medium has become small, and the corporates have become medium scale now. Very important to have reorientations. But what is more important is at every changes what we do, we should never ever forget. We should have a smooth changeover. We should have a data of changing over, and we should have clarity in whatever we want to introduce to them. Thanks to COVID, people had to be first saved from the life. The livelihood can always be attended to, but the life became important. On March 24th, 2020, we were suddenly kept under a word called lockdown. We thought 3 weeks. Then we extended by 3 weeks. Then we extended by 3 weeks. And it went on and on. It took almost 6 months for us to breathe fresh. Even that breath was through the mask. Lot of things have changed. Habits have changed. A school-going child has started learning through online platforms. An entrepreneur started doing business through online transactions. A retired life has become taste of everybody during the COVID lockdown times. Everybody were searching in keeping themselves occupied, keeping themselves busy within 4 walls. Everybody's needs were quenched within 4 walls through the digital platforms. Life wasn't easy. The necessity always is a mother of inventions. Things have been changing. We started limping back sometime during November last year. We started doing better business opportunities during the last 3 months, which is January, February, March of last financial year. For us, the financial year is April 1st to 31st of March. So the Q4 of last financial year, which is January, February, March, people started bouncing back. Unfortunately, several micro entrepreneurs were not able to bounce back. They were still reeling under the impact of COVID. Some of them were not even opened from their lockdown condition. We identified about 52 sectors which were restricted for over 12 months in the last 18 months period. For example, saloon, gym, spa, ENT clinic, bone and joints, footwear, cinema theaters, private taxi owners, private tourist bus operators, canteen owners, construction contractors, architects, consultants, lawyers, automobile showrooms, fireworks manufacturers, printing press manufacturer, office equipment manufacturer, artists, folk, as well as movie and theater artists, entertainment industry, sports good manufacturers, fabrication sheet metal fabricators, educational sector dependents, parking contractors, rural artisans, paper manufacturers, media, print, digital, visual, retail shops other than essentials, clothing industry, advertisement industry, travel industry, tourism related industry, hotels, restaurants, trainers, diamond and gold makers, fruit processing, geo-mapped specialized manufacturers, repair shops, street vendors, pump and foundry, tile industries, automobile ancillaries, exporters, textile yarn, match industries, tanneries, office furnitures, summer needs industry, transportation, freight forwarding and sectors, exhibition and event managers, malls, e-travel platforms. Where were they? It changed our way of thinking life. Don't ever forget today, we are more used to OK Google and Alexas and Siris. Even the typing in the mobile phone has been displaced with the voice-over communications. Technology has taken us to a different levels altogether. The matrimony business models have been displaced with the digital matrimony activities. Thousands and lakhs of people who were working on that segment were lost. During COVID times, I know of several small-time weddings happened where we received the food through the couriers at our home, and we watched the weddings through the online platforms. Ola and Ubers have become much large syndicators of business without manufacturing of a single car of themselves. I can go on and on with several disruptive technologies which has come into the market field. It has now become a hand in hand. Making is one subject, selling is one subject. And that is very, very difficult for us to digest, understand, and go through. Today, professionals are getting misplaced. If there is a health problem, you go into the Google, it will tell you what is problem, what is the symptoms. If you have a court case, you can go into the Google, it prints out the list of sections and probabilities and whatnot, the earlier cases and whatnot. Auditors' work is getting done by ClearTax and the Taxman websites. Doctors' work is being done by ADA app. Broking work is done by Magic Brokers, Quickers, 99 Acres, and those platforms. Car sales are done by Carways and Car24 platforms. From food to clothes, you get everything through online. After the OTT platforms like Netflix, going to the movie halls has become difficult now. There is no need of a travel agent to book your ticket. You can book, scan, and have it on your fingertip through your own phones. You can even book a movie ticket through your mobile apps. Even now, the vehicles are going to be driverless vehicles on the roads. Driverless cycling has been coming. Many of you would have seen the videos of logistics company like Amazon warehousing works. Everything is automated. A robot moves and picks up the product and sorts out the products and stores the products and dispatches the products and keeps the people informed. in the next 10 years, globally and in India, we will see transformation of what we would have probably seen in the last 100 years. Entirely different world we are entering into. How we can change ourselves to this? How do we make profit out of this? How do we come up with unicorns? That's a very toughest challenge which we are going to face in the market now. If you take a small scale industry or a micro enterprises, we will divide them into financial needs, human resources needs, equipments and manufacturing technologies, raw material and the sourcing technologies, and the accessories which enables all of them to be done. For example, the place, the infrastructure, the power, the water, whatever you need. Today, we have already displaced. You don't need a working place to run a company. People can work from home. Today, we have become concept of gig manufacturing. Today, the entrepreneurs have become subcontractors. Today, the employees have become working by outputs, earning by outputs. Everything has become different in terms of identifications. How many of you have seen Urban Clap? Try and go into the Urban Clap mobile app. You know, it will explain to you if you want to have a plumbing problem in your house, if you want to have an electrician needs, if you want to have a carpentry needs. Just study how they price their services. It will be interesting for you. Do you want to change your existing ceiling fan? Or do you want me to change it, fit a new fan? There is a different rates. So much of minuting has been happening. It was never like this. 5 years back, if I need a fan to be changed in my house, I'll just call the nearest electrician. He will come, he'll finish the job, and then he will say, sir, give me this much. And then there will be some sort of a negotiation, and then we settle, and the life moves. If you want to engage an auto, if you want to engage a taxi, you will call the fellow who is crossing your eyesight and then negotiate with him the price and then get into the car. Today, everything is faceless. Everything is dialogueless. Everything is autopiloted. I can choose the time to speak. I can choose the time to sleep. I can choose the time to work. Choice is mine. And we are all getting programmed in our mind as to what should be done, what shall be done, and what can be done. The word stress has come into the tongue of a 3-year-old child today. We never used to speak what stress is in our life. I'm 62. Today, I see my granddaughter at the age of 3 telling me, I'm stressed. The peer pressures, the survival instincts. A few weeks back, I saw a mobile app called Moody's. You can scan the Moody's through your face, and it will tell you from your facial expressions what your mood is and what you should do to come out of that mood. It will tell you if you are in a sad mood or a frustrated mood or a happy mood, and what are the options for you to do at those conditions. And if you click that option, it will take you to another link of that option service provider, and it will tell you how you can select that option, and it will then take you to a payment gateway, how you can book it, Then it will take you to a vehicular service provider who will come and take you by car. It will get you dropped in the place where you have to go, and it will allow you to go inside the premises through your mobile phone. No talk anywhere. The artificial intelligence is now overtaking the real intelligence. We are pushed to learn technology advancements. Otherwise, survival cannot be happier. The current entrepreneurs which we see today in the market, those who are at less than 30 years old, who have become an entrepreneur, their thought process is entirely different to those who are at 40s as an entrepreneur, and 50s as an entrepreneur, and 60s as an entrepreneur. Outlook has changed. Methodology of booking orders have changed. Methodology of customer support has changed. Geographical reach has changed. He sits in Kanyakumari and sells his product in Kashmir without moving out of his house and a room. He gets the order through online platform. The product gets picked up from somewhere, delivered at somewhere. Money comes into the bank. He just gets only an SMS, the money has come. Entire changes have happened. If COVID was not there, the gap would have been more and more wider between them. Thanks to COVID, the gap has been reduced because they all lived under one roof continuously for 8 months. And they all got changed into one way of thinking. You had no choice but to change. If I have 5 food items in front of me, I have a choice to pick what I want to. If I have only 1 food in front of me, and if I'm hungry, I have no choice of what I eat. This is exactly the situation we all went through in the last 1.5 years. A great entrepreneurial spirit is converting challenges into opportunities. No entrepreneur you will ever see crying with problems. When I was in commercial business activity for 36 years in my life, every day morning I used to make a prayer to the God. Please give me problems today. Please give me as many problems today. But give me the strength and the brain to solve them. If there is no problem, our presence is not felt. If there is no challenges, our life is miserable. The sharks don't need swimming pools. The shark needs the sea. Every entrepreneur is a shark. This COVID has enabled them to reinvent themselves. Some of the business models have become redundant. Some of the business needs will no longer be viable. We need to rethink. We need to see how do we make use of the time and the efforts. Today, you and I can very easily see as we go out, the rental board has become much higher now. The shops vacating is becoming common now to see. Whenever you go to a developed nation, like European countries or to America, you will not find shops like what you see in India. You will find only shopping malls. You need to drive to a mall and you can spend the whole day in the mall, right? From the morning to evening and return back. Unlike what we see in India, every street will have 10 shops of different natures. You don't have to drive, you can walk and pick up what you want, negotiate what you want. compare what you want and come back to the house with the feeling of having bought it with your intelligence. Slowly, India is changing towards being a developed nation. Things are different. Opportunities are fantastic. 20 years back, when the mobile phone was launched in the year 1998, it was supposed to be only for communication. It was just a replacement of a cordless phone, which people were used to. Slowly, the technology started evolving. Today, what you see when you buy a product in a mobile phone, you see the size, you see the quality of the outlook, you see the capability of speed of internet usage, you see the camera's power capacity, MBs, and you see the storage capacity, you see the weight, you see the flexibilities, you see the foldability, you see the battery capacity for a longer period without charging. You today see a mobile phone for its variety of reasons and not just communication alone. The price varies from a 2,000 rupees to a 2 lakhs rupees on a mobile phone today. Which market you want to be in, which customer you want to be in, which technology you want to be in, which profitability you want to be in, is what first decides your positioning capacity. It wasn't that difficult earlier. When I did my engineering, there were only 4 subjects which I had to choose from, or 4 disciplines which I had to choose from: mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics, and metallurgy. Today, if you want to do an engineering, you have 70 subjects to choose from, disciplines to choose from. If you want to do MBA, earlier it was only finance and HR. Today, it is 20 different specializations. Why all this? Micro level magnifications are happening. Is it good for the society? Oh yes, of course it is good for the society, because you get more and more specialized in handling the job. You get more and more better in giving the product output for that kind of a specialized area of operation. So it is good, but people must be ready to adapt. People must be ready to change. This is very, very tricky point. So I was coining the word, what should the micro and small entrepreneurs to do to revitalize themselves? In the end, I came up with a word called, the only way for you is to modify you. M is modernize. O is optimize. D is digitalize. I is internationalize. So the word Mr. Modi, who is our Prime Minister, has an answer to this transformation in his name. So the revitalizing of the SMEs can happen only when they modify themselves. It's easily said. What should they do? Advice is the easiest commodity available anywhere, especially free advices. Everywhere it is available. But the toughness is going through that advice, knowing how to do this. Today, the educational institutions are changing their focus. They are not only creating graduates, They are also creating entrepreneurial transformations. Today, there is no university or a college without an incubation center or an innovation center. Why? Again, the need. They no longer can sustain their running capital needs, revenue models with just admission fees. They have to capitalize the kind of investments they have made on the plant and equipment inside the college, the professors, the doctorates which whom they are employing, and they need to be put for the social reasons. I can tell you an example. About 15 years back, I was in an exhibition in Hanover, in Germany. That is called as for every entrepreneur, that is a place to visit. So every year it happens, and I was in Hanover Messe, which is very popular in Germany. And I met a Chinese, age is the same at that time. Both of us are at 40s, and both of us have been entrepreneurs. And you must know, those days Chinese don't speak much of an English. They only do sign languages. So me and him, we became friends to each other in the Messe, and then we walked around. I was studying him when he was studying me. And we went to a place and we saw a product exhibited by a German company, and then we both felt that it has a huge market potential. Both of us felt it. And then we asked him, what is the price of this product? He said 100 Deutschmark. I, as an Indian, thought maybe 80 Deutschmark is the right price, but they are very profitable. In Germany, you don't sell a product without 100 to 120% of profit. So I thought it should be about 80. My Chinese friend said, sir, we can make it at 20 Deutschmark. I said, how do you make it? This is where the crux of the matter is. Both of us bought a simple sample piece from them. I bought one and he bought one, 100 Deutschmark. Within 60th day, this Chinese boy sent me a sample of that product, ditto sample, 60th day, and told me, Raghu sir, I want you to check this product and give me your opinions on this product. And at that time, on 60th day, I was not even able to source anything for that product manufacturing. I asked him, how did you create this product? He said, oh, very simple. I just went back with the sample product, not only this product. I had about 17 such products, which I thought there is a huge market for the global selling. I went and gave it to the educational institution nearer to my factory, and they did the rest. And I was continuing to contact all the possible potential buyers of this product, discussing with them on the price, negotiating for the sample and all that. And I was getting ready. And the educational institution broke the product open, created the 3D drawings or whatever the drawings, and they had tie-ups with several prototype manufacturers. So they made the prototype, they tested the prototype, and they gave me the sample product, which I sent it to the customer, and I got the order. And within 60th day, we reproduced the product. Imagine the speed of the Chinese boy. We could have never ever achieved such a speed. Both of us became very close to each other in our life. So there was another exhibition in Indonesia. I had my stall and he had his stall. I'll tell you the experience behind it. I had a product which is same as his product. For example, this product. And when a customer came to my place, he asked me, Raghu sir, what is the price of this? I said $10. What is the best you can give me? I said, probably $9. Nothing more I can do. This is what my answer. The same customer went to the Chinese stall and asked him, what is the price of this? His answer was, how many pieces you want? The customer said, I want 10,000 pieces. The Chinese asked, at what price you want? The customer said, $4. The Chinese said, quickly did some working, and then he told him, can you give me 25,000 pieces? I will give it to you at $5. The negotiation happened. Finally, the Chinese guy picked up the order and walked away. He is a businessman. I, as a technocrat, was not able to even realize how the price of the product could be brought down. I never realized. I thought reduction of the price means reduction of the quality. It was not so. Today, the unicorns have taught us something. The Flipkart was posting 7,000 crore loss every year in their operations, but they were valued at 1.5 lakh crore in their valuations. So today, you don't have to make profit only from your operational activity, but also from the valuation activities. This is how the world is changing. Don't look at the product, each product separately. Look at it from the macro level. Look at it from the revolutions level. Look at the Ola electric bike which was launched. On the day of the launch, at 499 rupees at a book value, they are booked for the year. Look at the revolutions. Look at the scale of thinking. Look at the way in which you price your product with the volumes in mind. Look at the way you create valuation of your enterprise and not just profitability of your enterprise. Look at the way from rags to riches story. Look at the way the Ola is a classic example where they started at and where they are at now. Look at the way the thinking process happens. Look at the way Amazon has grown. Look at the way Tatas have grown now with every sphere of an activity being present. My dear friends, you have an idea, not enough. What you need is the right launching pads. Don't look at your idea as on date. Look at your idea, what the scalability of your idea is. What more you can do with those ideas. No singular application has no business models now. Multiple applications only has business solutions now. If you want to make profit, you gotta give better applications in your product. A single product, multiple usages is what is looked at. Wristwatches are changing into digital. Wristwatches are telling me how many steps I walk. Wristwatches are telling me how many words I speak. No more, I need 5 different instruments to measure something. Life is changing. And the younger generation today have so much of a reach and the opportunities. I wish I am reborn soon. I wish I am an entrepreneur again with a new idea and a new product, because I believe what I achieved in 36 years, I would have achieved in 3 years now. It seemed like I was riding a bicycle to move from one place to another. Today we are moving in a metro. Trains, in 10 minutes I reach a place where I want to, which would have taken me ages to by walk. Life is easier. Life is better. Thoughts are widening. Needs are widening. People have an idea to try out new things. People have learned to be experimental. People are opening their eyes and comparing your product with several others in over a period of a time. Let's get on. And the life is much more cheerful for small and medium enterprises with the micro entrepreneurs providing their success stories. Government can only facilitate. The word Atmanirbhar Bharat looks simple but has so much of a meaning in it if you deeply go into it. you achieve not just the self-manufacturing capacity, but also self-consumption capacities. You will not buy a product unless it is a world-class product. You will not buy a product unless it is available at a cheaper price than what you can otherwise get. And matching both of this is the biggest challenge for an entrepreneur. And I wish the listener of this, with more partnerships, with more such widening of the gaps between the expectations and the productions, growth comes automatically and naturally. And I'm very grateful and thankful for the opportunity given to me in discussing with you on this topic. I'm available for any social empowerment programs and initiatives in my life. That is what I have dedicated myself to be. I continue to say and remain as a voice of the voiceless. Thank you for the opportunities. Thank you so much. Sir, you're muted.
Thank you very much, Raghunathan, for your very wonderful, address. And let me, before I summarize, I would like to invite Mr. Sambel Singh. Mr. Sambel Singh, can you make your video on? Mr. Sambel Singh? Okay, fine, good. Mr. Sambel Singh, he has taken interest to, attend your webinar, and he has got a lot of international experience. Now he wants to introduce, lot of interdisciplinary approach for making graduates as entrepreneur. What you said it very clearly that this is every institutions is no institution without incubator. Now no institution can live with their admission fee. Their revenue model has been changed. That is the bottom. And every institution has got an incubator, whether it is an engineering or non-engineering. It is changing that. And I would like to, Mr. Sambel Singh, he has spent a lot of years in Japan, and he has come back to India, and he is working with a lot of partnership programs. Mr. Sambel Singh, you have listened to Mr. Raghunathan's, address for the last, 1 hour, and he has given the complete value chain, network value chain. He talked about innovations and the value creation network. It's very important. Before I get into a lot of specifics, what he has talked about it for the benefits of the participants, I would like to hear from you. What is your takeaway from his talk? Over to you.
Thank you for giving me opportunity on this platform, sir. And it was really wonderful to connect with you and such great entrepreneur who has international experience. Sir, I can again say that I am also a first generation entrepreneur in my family. I started after my graduation engineering. I started a business in not only for going for job, but to learn something new. And today the innovation and incubation, these are going big way. I learned a lot in Japan. And the interdisciplinary education and skill education is much more required these days. As industry 4.0, like I talked to you on message and how we can give a approach to student. This micro entrepreneurship in digital economy is a big way demand, sir. And especially my thrust increase, as sir told me, how to utilize knowledge of 20-30 years experience in 3 years. Yes, this is the right time, sir, to explore in a small time the great knowledge bank which is available online. Today night even I was dreaming something like that, what we are speaking on this platform right now. Like the society should be aware about what is going on globally, and we have to prepare ourselves, because the biggest disaster of industrialization is going through this pollution and climate change effects. So this is a big challenge, and the COP26 has a single vision, like Modi ji has given a new vision, that one world, one sun, and one grid. So the energy sector is a big challenge coming up, challenge in next some time, and we all has to face this kind of challenge, sir. And good institution and good people and knowledgeable people can meet the challenges. So we have to show oneness in this platform, and we have to create millions and thousands of entrepreneurs for India to give a successful boost for Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you, sir.
And now Mr. Raghunathan, that Mr. Sampal Singh has given his views after attending that. What is your, suggestions or your viewpoints with respect to what he said it?
What Mr. Sampal Singh is saying is what needs in India is. He is coming with an experience of a country which created from ashes. We are today similar to that situation after the COVID impact of 1 and 2. We have been taken suddenly by a hit. The normalcy has been changed. So we have started living with abnormal. Wealth has been eroded for many. Savings have been eroded for many. There is a problem with demand, there is a problem with pricing, there is a problem with job opportunities, there is a problem with raw materials, there is a problem with technologies. Everything is happening. Today, the automobile sector has come to a standstill because of the microchip non-availabilities. Inventions are taking us to a next level by the compulsions. So people like Sampal Singh will be able to clearly tell us the fast forward for India to grow in the global mechanisms. He has today a rich experience of looking from the minds of the Japanese. He has, like how I learned from a Chinese in my trip to Hanover, Msme. After all, end of the day, in anybody's life for that matter, it is only the knowledge that matters. Either you learn from the books what you study, or you learn from somebody else's mistakes, or you learn by self-doing things, or you learn from somebody's successes. The knowledge is a value of the life which we create. I largely believe what he has said makes sense, and people like him will be of great use in partnerships with educational institutions in India in a big way, and through the innovation center, the incubation centers in the transformation process, and I'll be too glad to be part of that mission. I have created an enterprise strength of over 7 lakhs of entrepreneurs in this country through my Consortium of Indian Association, which has about 70 trade associations across India under one umbrella. I'll be the happiest person if India could transform like Japanese in the next 4 years time frame. 5 trillion economy is nothing for India. actually nothing. It's only a number. We would have surpassed the number if all of us put in our positive energy towards it rather than criticism energy towards it. Not just wasting our diverted tactics, not beating around the bush. If we all have a singular vision and a mission and a goal and an ambition, 5 trillion is absolutely not achievable at all. It is a great, easiest to achieve in this country. We have the natural wealth, we have the human capital, and you are always known across the globe. Indians are always respected for the high IQ levels and the hard works and the honest works. I feel he made a lot of sense. Thank you, Sampal. You are much younger to me by age, so I take the first name of yours to call. And thank you, Sampal. You are muted.
Thank you.
You are muted. You are under mute.
Mr. Sampal Singh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Raghunathan is talking to you, and he was, addressing you, and he was expecting some, remarks from your side. You are muted.
Okay. So about today's conference, sir?
No, he was talking about your vast experience from Japan and his experience from German, and the views which you have said is more relevant and is more appropriate, and that's that in that connection he was talking to you in the relevance of your views for today's media.
Yes, sir. I believe this is a wonderful talk. Raghunathan sir has given a great vision for Indian entrepreneurs. And especially when I talk about Japanese mindset and learning, yes, we have to create some standard of working. Like sir told that Chinese people are business oriented, they can take order at any cost. But India can look totally globally that they can meet requirement of whole world now. If they manage their natural resources and their human resource properly, and we train and skill people with right knowledge, I believe we can lead the world next uh, upcoming years. And the 5 trillion economy is just a number which is just government has recognized, but we have huge resource in what you name it, sea, marine, defense, so many things we can do, and space.
Mr. Sampal Singh, and today's program has been very much enriched by the address of Shri K. Raghunathan, and also supplemented by Mr. Sampal Singh. And I'm very happy that after having hosted 51 editions so far, and today with the 52nd edition, it is something like an ornamental, it's like a jewel which has come in my, career at the age of 68. And I'm very happy that, when I initiated this webinar series during the COVID situation, I thought that I'm a former technocrat, worked for e-governance program from bottom up since 1987 with 512 districts, and then IT in agriculture. Then I wanted to have that, agriculture, health, and industries from the bottom up process, because of the simple reason that because I have seen the whole India. And also, of course, when in my biography, in my resume, I'll say that I visited more than 450 districts in India. Rather than many people used to say, I visited abroad, this country, that country, like that. But I saw that the rural distress in the country. And then, as a former technocrat, as an IITian, 76, 78 batch of MTech Computer Science from IIT Chennai, I thought it is a good opportunity is given to me as a boy who was born and brought up from rural India. Let me bring technology back to rural India. He's rightly said it that even now it is relevant. He said it $5 trillion is a number. By doing an appropriate rural management, we can add $1.3 trillion to the GDP, which is now lagging behind. And the country has management schools generate 40,000 students to be given to corporates, but we don't generate managers for rural. We don't generate any rural management students, only 4,000 per annum. So if we have a rural management as the, our goal, appropriate, you said it very clearly, natural resource, sea resource and marine resources and so on and so forth, we can add $1.3 trillion, dollars to the GDP very easily. And today I'm very happy that, this 1 hour talk by Mr. Raghunathan, it is something like that, it's enriching our understanding, the need for getting it. He gave 3 terminologies which he given to me. One is that today's talk has to be converted as a policy paper which will be submitted to the government through the university, by the university. Because Mr. Raghunathan, you talked about from your vast experience, your journey, and without even looking into anything, you spoke from the heart. And I now I realize that why did you put the word in your brief profile, which I read it, that you are a passionate man with speak from the heart, the problems and how to go about it. And you also very nicely said it that there's no point in blaming each other. You say that we have to modify, modernize, and he said it very nicely, that terminology. And I would like to, for the benefit of the participants, he said it, I also would like to slightly expand. He said it modify. I think, for 5 years back, my other good friend, Mr. Samir Kochar, he has brought out a book, Modinomics. And he asked me to write a chapter. And my chapter is also there. I will send you the reference of the chapter, my chapter in that Modinomics. I will send it to you later, both of you. Today, I was very happy that he said that all entrepreneurs has to undertake. It's the one code name. It is modify, modernize, optimize your resources, digitalize it, not only digitize, and internationalize it. So people used to always say that there is no difference between Modi and Moni. There's only one letter difference, M-O-D-I and M-O-N-I. The energy is same. I'm very happy as a former technocrat. And I thought that I took advantages of COVID-19 situation. He said it that if COVID-19 would not have come, we would not have thought about so many things. He explained a lot of technologies. I don't know whether many of the engineering colleges and National Institute of Importance will teach the students like this. You don't go abroad. We don't need dollars. We need a technology. Previously, there was an era that go abroad and earn dollars. Country needs. Now, today, we need technologies to be developed. I always used to say that each state now has got one NIIT, one NIT, one AIMS, one central university, one central agriculture university, and one IIM from the central government. And each state also has got so many other state level importance of universities, which are also of international and national level. How do the state governments take advantages of these institutions? We have 4,500 engineering colleges. We have 18,000 non-engineering colleges, so many IITs, so many NITs, so many triple ITs, so many central universities, state universities. Do the district administration, which has an annual basis about 2,000 crores, do they take advantages of this institution to bring research-based development plan for the district to utilize 2,000 crores per annum. Is it possible at this stage to have a district administration by an IAS officer by 5 years experience in the service? We need an entrepreneurial scheme. The district to administer this 2,000 crores annual plan, which goes to every district to develop, industry. 63 million small and marginal SMEs. He said it now that there is no micro category. The thing is that previous small has become micro, previous medium has become small, and today corporates have become medium. It's changing. If COVID situation would not have come, this would not have happened. And he also gave an umpteen number of examples. Do our educational institution teach such type of experience to the people, to the students? That's the reason only that this Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology is based in Meerut. They invited me after when I retired on May 2013 to establish these 5 centers of excellence to drive technology-based development in rural India. And this is the first university, private university, to have such 5 centers of excellence and Center for Agricultural Informatics e-Governance to reskill agriculture graduates, non-agricultural graduates to get into agriculture as a preferred option in the country. And as a chairman, group leader for 2 subcommittees of doubling farmers' income by 2022, we gave 7 mission mode program for digitalization of Indian agriculture, 400 agricultural commodity value chain. Each Gram Panchayat can have an agri-tech, deep tech startup. It means that the India can have about 2.25 lakh MSMEs, agri-tech startups, to help 14.5 operational holders, 14.5 crore operational holders in the country, out of which 55% are small and marginal operational holders. 63 million MSMEs, previous statistics. There is a huge opportunities. I want to link today's talk by Mr. Raghunathan and Mr. Jayapalan's talk on 19th July, in 2021, is a very important thing for the government to take note of it. Recently, when I was having a discussion with the Additional Chief Secretary and the Chairman of Tamil Nadu Industry Investment Corporation, I delivered a talk on why Industry 4.0 to be, taught to the CEOs of SMEs in the country. So I told him that for adoption of Industry 4.0, don't make a government scheme. Let the government work with the SMEs in Tamil Nadu to make them every SME in the state of Tamil Nadu to be Industry 4.0 enabled, like what European Union is trying to do that. Let us modify the district industries officers of Tamil Nadu, to understand technology. So these are all some of the things we have to walk, and we have to meet the goals. He gave a lot of examples. He started with 1998. Where was Kodak Film Institute, and today where is it? Technology. And India can be it's a country can bring in technology. Apart from making our people as highly IQ oriented and committed people, honest people, and so on and so forth. But this is a time that we have to develop technology for the world needs. And I'm very happy that today, Mr. Raghunathan has put something like an action plan for the universities to, make every student as an entrepreneur. And I always used to wonder why IIT graduates to go to IIMs for MBA. Why can't IIT graduates with 4 years, they go to the IIT as a cream, but to get an entrepreneur, they have to go to IIM. They join for MBA. Whereas normal BA, BSc graduates from general universities also go for IIM for MBA program. Then what is the difference which the engineering grads from IITs are having it? Why can't they become 4 years? When I addressed IIT, I think 2012, that do we have a problem when you join to work at the first year itself? Do the IITs give to the students of BTech, batch in the first year itself, along with their prospectus, the diary, a problem to work for the next 4 years? Then the situation would have been different. So I think Mr. Raghunathan has is tied the bell on the cat, and I'm also very happy that he is the man. He is voicing the voiceless, and he is united about more than 70 traders organizations and so on and so forth. And I would like to request Mr. Raghunathan and also Mr. Sampal Singh to work with these centers of excellence in the university. Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application is the first center in India in private sector, private university. Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies. I talked in Madras Institute of Technology. I was invited to deliver a talk in 2005. I talked, and that time my talk was Digital SME. I requested that professor who invited me to talk, I told them in 2004 that you adopt one urban cluster to make, technology enabled. And 2016, I was asked by the Singapore company, it's an NRI from Singapore, to deliver a talk in their launch pad of, Industry 4.0 in Delhi. When I talked about it, I recapitulated what I talked in Madras Institute of Technology in 2004, in 2016. And that's how that, the industry partner of the and this is a very important thing. I invite both of you to interact with the university and let us promote industry for MBA in Industry 4.0. I have in your program schedule, I have attached the the course curriculum of the MBA for on Industry 4.0. The time has come that we have to make our CEOs of SMEs, whether it is a 5-member SMEs or 1,000 members SMEs, as a technologically enabled. We'll bring the distance zero by making best practices, manufacturing practices of world nature, world class in India. So with this, I thank both of you for participating, and it is very enriched. And I will come back to you with the draft text of the speech today to make it as a policy paper. Thank you very much. And with this, we close the webinar, and I thank all the participants, and we also greet from the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology. For more research and inquiries, please contact Professor Moni Madaswamy, Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Applications. And I also thank our Honorable Chancellor, Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, and His Excellency Secretary General Ardo for giving this opportunity. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
We leave webinar and leave studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.